The convict felon Trump held a rally in Mint Hill, North Carolina today. He avoids the big city because the rubes won't fact check him. He doesn't like to be told when he's wrong when he is. It's an excellent trait for a president to have.
2 assassination attempts on my life that we know of.
There might be more of them? That brings tears to my eyes. I need a minute.
And we're going back to Butler, by the way. We're going to go back and finish our speech.
Do you hear that, all you professionals out there? Just saying. It would be funny if it happened there again. It would be even funnier if he got his other ear cut. Stand back and stand ready, professionals.
The FBI is all talk while they focus on the sitting president's political opponents. That's what...
Personally, I'm glad they're spending so much time investigating the felon because he committed crimes and he deserves his day in court. I'll even pay more in taxes for them to do that. Can I do it? Can I do it by Venmo?
In this case, Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens.
He ain't gonna do any of that. He doesn't go after our enemies. He bent over to the Taliban and handed Afghanistan to them. He's just using dictator talk. Dictator talk? I would tell Iran to next time be successful and hit your mark.
There is a reason for the interest rate cut from the Fed. Big part of that reason is that our economy is doing really, really badly.
Well, that's a lie. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, and we have been breaking records in the stock market. The felon can't read.
She never worked at McDonald's over the hot French fries. I think I'm going to a McDonald's in 2 weeks, actually, and I'm going to work the French fries.
If you let him near those fries, that fat fuck's gonna eat them all. Someone say I would know.
And if you go back 7 weeks, was considered the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Dan Quayle was our worst vice president. He says that she's horrible, yet he was voted the worst president of all time. And what's funny is the person he's calling the so-called worst vice president is kicking his ass in polls and at the debate.
Joe got all that money for China. You know, China paid him a lot of money. So did Ukraine. So did Russia. They got a lot of money.
There's no evidence of that. But we do have evidence that the convict felon received millions from China and Saudi Arabia for at least 2 years when the felon soiled the presidency. When he talks about someone, he's talking about himself all the time.
This is why people in countries want to kill me.
He must have forgotten that it was 2 Americans who attempted to take his life. Sorry, I get sad when I talk about them failing. I need another minute.
They only kill consequential presidents, remember that.
He is consequential. He's the existential threat to our democracy.
The 21 million illegals she let in are now creating havoc throughout the country. Look at New York, all of the people, what's happened to the quality of life.
Yeah, well, I know a whole bunch of Puerto Rican migrants in New York who want to chat with him. Let him say that to our faces, how we've changed the quality of life in New York without his free bodyguards. That will be the last day you'll see him in New York.
If any senior doesn't vote for Trump, we're gonna have to send you to a psychiatrist to have your head examined.
No, that's not a fascist statement at all. He said that about the Jewish people, and now he's opened it up to the seniors.
Ukraine is gone. It's not Ukraine anymore.
Do you really think the convict knows anything about Ukraine? He doesn't. All he knows is that he's going to give it up to Putin like he did Afghanistan to the Taliban. That's what traitors do.
And Biden and Kamala allowed this to happen by feeding Zelensky money and munitions like no country has ever seen.
Here's the thing. Back in the day, I wouldn't have let anyone talk about my country this way. And I was a Republican. I would have never blamed us first before Russia. MAGA and Russia have become the same thing. And the felon is their useful idiot, which is ironic because he's not useful to us. He's just an idiot.